praise other people. They are grateful about the work that someone has done, and we have like a 30-minute slot where we get to express our gratitude to other people, and that really is a counterweight to conflict, right? So it brings the community closer together. It's really hard to have conflict with someone when they're praising you, right? So yeah, it's a great community. I came here. I don't want to leave ever, and hope you guys like it. Definitely feel free to DM me. I do a lot of onboarding too, one-on-ones. So yeah, if you feel overwhelmed by just the vast amount of knowledge that we have and the learning curve, please just DM me, and I'd be happy to just talk, just informally talk about what we're about. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna pass it to Lutzar, which I was in a call in a prom party with 5 minutes ago. Lutzar, go ahead.
Just briefly before Adam starts, we welcome Bianca and Lutzar and Vi. We are going through a brief introduction about yourself. Where are you from? Whatever you want to share with us and you feel comfortable sharing with us. And then what got you here to the TEC? So now, Lutzar, if you may.
Sure, yeah. My name is Adam. I'm from the Pacific Northwest in the United States. I have a degree in applied linguistics and the German language. German is my second language, in case you guys need any like translation work or something done. And then, yeah, linguistics didn't really make me money, so I actually went to the electrical field as an electrician. Did that for a couple of years, and now I'm trying to get into software development. So I've been learning everything I can about C# and Python and front-end web development and back-end web development and just kind of full stack development in general. And that kind of led me to volunteering for nonprofits that work with civic tech and help give back to their communities. And that led me here through one of those members. So thank you.
Thank you, Lutzar. How about you, Bianca? Welcome to the orientation call.
Hi, thank you. My name is Bianca. I'm 23 years old. I'm Brazilian, so I'm in Brazil right now. English is my second language, so sometimes I have a hard time saying or about some things. So I'm here to really learn everything that I can. I really like TEC. I'm very happy to be here in this environment. And I'm having my degree in psychology. So I'm very interested on bringing psychology here. And I know that you guys already have awesome people that do things like that. So I'm just here really to learn. Thanks.
Thank you, Bianca. Welcome, Libby and Tam, to the orientation call. How about you, Uncle Bim Bim?
Good morning. My name's Kim, go by Uncle Bim Bim. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. It's currently 3 a.m. here, which is lovely. Brand new to the TEC. I am a brand strategist. I come from a graphic design and illustration background. I guess one thing that's really attracted me lately with the Web3 stuff is just community and networks. I think with working with different brands day to day, you start to realize the importance of community within their branding and marketing strategy. And now with DAOs coming to the forefront, it's just absolutely captivated me. And to be involved and be part of this dynamic, it just it feels really exciting. So yeah, really pumped to learn and help out wherever I can.
Thank you. How about you, Arvind?
Hey, I'm Arvind. I'm from India, Bangalore, India, and I have so I'm currently working on for a decentralized cloud company called StackOS. I handle their growth. I lead their growth department, and I joined TEC I think about a month ago, but had some family stuff, so I couldn't pay attention to it. But now everything's sorted, and I'm very excited to learn more about this project. Tokenomics has always interested me, but I never had the opportunity to find people who actually sort of working on this and are building things based on tokenomics. But when I found this, I was really excited. So looking forward to learning more about this and see how I can learn and get involved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arvind. Nice to have you here. And how about you, Satchel?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, now it works perfectly.
Okay, great. Can't tell. So my name's Tim. I'm based in San Francisco. My background has been in product management in 2 tech companies in the cybersecurity space. And I spent a little bit of time learning about open source in the foundation. And then now I'm sort of full-time just like exploring, Web3. And I think tokenomics might be the skill set that could be like the closest equivalent to a product manager, because you have to like build the community and design the ecosystem and the product set. So I'm trying to learn more about that with the hopes of either, joining another company or starting my own. I'm working on a graphic or a model on understanding token economics, and I just did it on the Helium token, and so hoping I could find a group of people I can share it with sort of in a live call to get feedback on. That's it.
Thank you so much, Satchel. Yes, Tam, go ahead.
I would love to see those, Satchel. I'm sure more people would too, but I would love to see those.
Would you like to introduce yourself to Satchel also, Tam?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tamara. I'm one of the stewards at the TEC. I co-steward the Communitas with Eduardo, and I'm also the steward of the Stewards Working Group. And I've been involved with the TEC for a while, close to a full year now, actually. So my 1-year anniversary is coming up. And yeah, I'm very happy that this orientation call keeps growing and growing. There's so many fascinating, interesting people in this community, and there's so much work that we can do together. So I'm looking forward to collaborating with everyone here.
Thank you. And welcome to Orientation Call. I really like your name, Angie Berry Berry. So if you'd like to introduce yourself and explain a little bit of how do you arrive to the TEC and any expectation that you may have.
Hi, I'm Angela. You can call me Angie. And my boyfriend actually introduced me to this. So I'm very excited, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining. So how about you, Christian DLL? If you are talking, Christian, you are muted, so we cannot hear you. And if you cannot talk, it's fine. You can unmute whenever you want. And I will pass it on to Rod Castle. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm not new, but I haven't made a lot of contributions over here. Yeah, I was working on a front end page with somebody from tech called Christoph, but I had to like let it go since I didn't like understand a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to like rejoin and relearn a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Amazing. It's amazing to have you back. You're more than welcome anytime. And you're the last one, Isa. Would you like to introduce yourself? If you are talking, Isa, we cannot listen to you. but you are welcome to join at any other point of this call. So, welcome everyone to the orientation call. It's amazing to have such a nice crowd today. So we will jump right into it. The document that is shared on my screen at the moment is shared on the orientation channel that I ping a lot of you guys on the new member tag. So thank you for being here. So a little bit of what do you expect from this call? What we're going to talk today? We're going to talk today about what is the TEC, which is something that a lot of you and a lot of people in general tends to be a little bit like, we don't know what is this. Like, it sounds cool, it sounds about token economics, but we are not very sure what you guys do. So we are here to try to answer that question. We are also here to talk about a little bit of how we work and how to contribute to the TEC, if you are interested in that. But also, how can you learn token economics? How can you be part of this community? How do we interact? And our meetings, our calendars, and all this stuff is the things that we're going to talk today. And we like to start with our mission, vision, and values. And a nice exercise that we have is that we, to the members of the community that have been here for a while, to explain in their own words, what is the mission, vision, and values. So I don't know, Tam, would you like to, in your own words, to say what are the mission, vision, and values of the TEC?
Sure. So the TEC is a human-centric organization. So part of what makes us really key is having this this culture that we share together. The short vision is like advancing token engineering, the short mission that we have. And the idea is that we want to be the place that everyone knows to go to when they want to find out more about token engineering. So the Schelling point of the community. We want to fund projects that advance token engineering. So we're not funding for-profit projects, but we're funding research to help token engineering, or open source systems and open source tools. And education is super important too. So making a economy that is human-centric, culture-focused, and supports token engineering and the importance that it'll play in the world. And what do our values say? Human-centric, integrity, curiosity, constructive. Yeah, these are all beautiful. It's a beautifully worded mission, vision, values.
Thank you, Tam. Yeah, so we are a community that it's also very open, and we try to be a welcoming community. So you can jump at any moment. If you want to have a question, for example, in this call, just unmute yourself and ask right away, or put your camera on, raise your hand. All of the things we respect it and we appreciate it. So this is a little bit of what is the TEC. Then how do we structure ourselves and how do we organize ourselves? We organize ourselves in 11 working groups. And these working groups are the way we handle and the way contributors start sort of working in the TEC and learning and contributing. So since we have a bunch of stewards here, I would like the stewards that are here, for example, Livy, to explain a little bit of her working group, which is SoftGov, if you have the possibilities to do so.
Thanks, Edu. Hi, everybody. Really nice to see this call full of people again. Welcome, everyone. And the SoftGov working group is working to implement Ostrom's principles into the cultural build of the TEC. So looking into what are some base cultural practices we need to develop to have self-managed organization where people feel like they have agency to be a part of everything that's happening, that people have autonomy to make decisions, and that we have a good level of communication between everyone, and that we are grounded on the path that Ostrom led to us. And I'm so sorry, I need to, there's someone that just arrived here. I will can I pass to somebody to continue? Tim, could you take it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the stewards working group are the servant leaders of the TEC. So we are serving the community and making sure that there's like a transversal coordination layer on top of all of the different working groups. We have 11 working groups that are really focused on their work streams. And sometimes that can lead to silos, which can lead to coordination problems. So our intention, some of the main work that we do is making sure that the coordination can happen, interdependencies are surfaced, blockers are removed, as well as to promote sort of, be the models for our culture. That's the cultural build that Livia was just talking about with SoftGov and Gravity, and actually all of our working groups contribute to our culture. And so we do the coordination, and I like to call the stewards the super spreaders of the MVV, so to sort of model our values and to keep ourselves and the community focused on our mission together. I'll pass back to you, Eduardo.
Thank you. And then, for example, we have transparency, which Septimus here, it's the steward. I don't know, Septimus, if you want to explain a little bit about transparency working group.
Yeah. On transparency, we started like a very small working group where our main focus was getting, all the meetings recorded. And then, we've like the next step was like, we do not try to impose transparency, but our mission is, provide the community like to mutual monitoring, like to enforce the fourth Ostrom's principle. So like on transparency, we don't create rules. We just try to make the flow goes through mutual monitoring, and and also like the real game of transparency is going to start when we have the token. So we really need transparency on the common pool, how projects are doing, and basically it's like help the working groups and the projects to show the numbers, and also like the big audit for the TEC. So our main mission is foster the mutual monitoring.
Thank you, Septimus. And finally, Shui, would you like to explain about comms? And in case someone here is also interested in contributing, for example, to comms, how can they contribute?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Edu. Well, right now we are in the process of our working group is going to become a team, which is one of the I think two working groups that are going to be able to provide like a service to other communities. So what we're going to be doing in comms is we're going to be providing communication services as a public good for projects that share our objective of advancing token engineering. So what we're going to be doing in the next few months is we're going to be integrating different creatives like designers and social media managers to be able to coordinate and start helping spread the word for what the Token Engineering Commons and other TE related projects seek. So thanks for being here. I see some familiar faces, so it's good to see you here. I'll pass it back to you, Ed.
Thank you, Shui. So these working groups that have talked so far, the stewards, they mostly belong to this cultural build process that we have created. And these cultural practices that we have are very important for us. But then we also have technical related working groups. And a lot of you, for example, mentioned that you are interested on token economics. And we have a working group that's dedicated to explore, play, debate about token economics. I don't know, Septimus, if you'd like to explain about Param's working group, if you can.
Like on Params, like the big mission is to educate the community to build collaborative economics. So basically like the first dashboard we had for the hatch, like the params team were educating all the people, all the community. So people like me who have, zero knowledge about, the technocracy, choosing params and stuff, like I could learn myself and, build this economy. And we actually build it together, the Hatch. And now we are going to do the same with the, there is a lot of param parties going on. And yeah, basically like the mission of params is building the tools and educating the community. So it's super fun. Like I think it's actually like one of the most fun working groups. Yeah, back to you, Edu.
Thank you, Septimus. He may be a little bit biased, but yes, it's one of the funniest working groups. It's one of the working groups to have the most fun. And right now, we are actually going through our params parties. Params parties are these concepts that we have here in the TEC, which is a space that you can use, assist. We have param parties all day long in different time zones, depending on where you're from, and hosted by different people. And the idea is that you learn about token economics in these params parties. And we have a period for the next month where we will keep in doing these params parties. I don't know, Shui, if you'd like to explain a little bit about the concept of the params party before we keep going. Or I think it would be helpful for a lot of people here who are trying to learn about token economics.
Sure. The param parties are basically, we get together, sometimes we play music, and we use the Commons Configuration Dashboard, which is basically a tool that is going to help community members make proposals on our economic model. Edu here, for the ones of you that are watching his screen, he is showing what the Commons Configuration Dashboard is. And the params parties is like a space that we provide where we get together and we explain the different tools. And this is the way like we approach collaborative economics in the TEC. And also how we provide a token engineering tool for people to also help advance this field. So yeah, like in a way, if you are playing around with the dashboard, you are like already a token engineer in a way. So yeah, it's a very, very educational event. So you are all invited. I know that Lutzer and I think, oh yeah, only Lutzer just joined the param party that I hosted, but we have a bunch. And yeah, you can see them in our Twitter. We usually post the times and in the different cities. And yeah, so yeah, param parties are fun. We hope to see you here also.
Thank you, Shui. We would like to share, Lutzer, how was your first param party? Just briefly to the rest of us. How was your feedback, impressions, anything you want to share about your param party that you assist?
It wasn't my first, so I don't want to like give you guys wrong information. It was my second params party. I went to one yesterday with Griff as well. And he my first one was basically just me asking a lot of questions about the dashboard. Luckily, there's these really good tools on the dashboard, little question marks there that kind of explain everything for you. And then, of course, you have Google or some other type of search engine that you'd like to use that can also help you like identify sort of the pieces of this dashboard a little better. But yeah, no, I'm having fun messing around with it and making some really interesting looking curves. I'm not sure what the actual outcome of these curves would be, but I'm playing around with it for now and still trying to wrap my head. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. So I will make a brief stop here to ask if anyone, or specifically the person who asked that were interested in learning about token economics, do you guys have any question, any concept that you didn't understand, something you would like clarification on? Just unmute yourself and shoot away if you have any question regarding this so far. I will count to 5. If no one unmutes and doesn't ask questions, then we'll keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Sorry, I had a question regarding the params party. So can you join that even if you are just learning about tokenomics and you don't know most of the terms that are used? Is that something you can join into, or do you need to have certain understanding of it before you can? Thank you.
I will let Septimus to answer that question since he's very excited about param studies.
Yeah, actually, like it's anyone welcome to join. Like the intention of the param part is educate the community to be able to create the best parameters for the 1.5 million economy. So yeah, everyone is welcome to join and to learn. That's the mission.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to join. And at the beginning, it could be a little bit like shy because a lot of people know each other, and then you're like, oh, but I don't want to interrupt. Don't worry, everyone there is welcoming, and everyone understand that we have different levels of knowledge, and you can ask questions. As it's silly as it may sound, you can shoot it right away, and people will probably immediately answer you without no problem. Welcome, Tigoroy, to the orientation call. We are going through a little bit of the working groups at the moment, and we were discussing about the params working group and an initiative that they are doing, which is the params parties. We have other working groups. We have the legal working group, which as the name says, it takes care of our legal structures. We have Omega working group that it's an exploration working group that they they take care of the ethos and the ethics of token engineering, and they sort of take a look at that and see the debate and so on. We also have Communitas working group, which is the working group that Tamara and I lead, and it's a working group dedicated to community building effort. So we are humans, even if we are very techie or very introvert, we need spaces to be safe and spaces to collaborate and spaces to engage. So Communitas Working Group takes care of all these initiatives, like the orientation call. We also held a space that is not related to work or token economics. It's just talk to meet each other. That is a TEC lounge that happens on Friday, 5 p.m. CET. So Communitas Working Group, it's a working group that take care of the social layer, if you want to think a little bit about that, the social layer of this community. And then we have Labs. And Labs, it's a very fun place to go also. Labs is held by YGG, is the steward of that working group. And Labs it's a more experimental kind of working group, a lot of data analysis, a lot of use cases, and a lot of debates. And they also are going to start doing a Solidity course done by one of our contributors, Meraverde. So you can also join their calls and also learn in the Labs section. And then we have Gravity, which Gravity, it's a working group dedicated to manage conflict, a conflict resolution working group. And they have a course right now, the Gravity course, and it's a very educational space. A lot of people goes to that course, and then you receive a pop-up actually for attendance to the course. So you're more than welcome also to participate on that. All these working groups, you can see if you go to this link, or if you teccommons.org/workgroups. All of these working groups have their timing and when is their weekly sync, and you can add to your own calendar the dates of these working groups if you are interested in one or the other one. Also, in the Google Calendar, you will see the agenda of every working group to see what was the last thing that was spoken about. And then you can also go to YouTube and Google TEC Commons, and then you will find the recording of the last meeting. So in case you want to be up to date or you didn't understand a lot of what was said on the agenda, you can just straight away go to YouTube, find it there and under the label of the working group, and then you will be informed from the next meeting. Don't be shy. Everyone was new at some point in all these working groups. Does anyone have a question regarding the working groups before we continue? 5, 4.
I have a question, you do?
Yes, go ahead, Lutzer.
It's regarding the TE Academy working group. You mentioned that they were going to be training people in Solidity. And I was curious if I saw somewhere that they were going to be starting that soon. I can't remember if it was Tamara who put it up, or if it was somebody at the TE services page, but I was just curious if you could maybe enlighten us a little more about that.
I'm just going to jump in because TE Academy is actually not a working group of the TEC. The TE Academy is its own independent organization, and they do have a number of really cool initiatives coming up. There are some workshops, some research studies. Every month there's an introduction to token engineering, which is probably one of the most important courses anyone who's interested in token engineering can join. It's free, it's monthly. I'm going to look for the link and drop it in the community hall. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Litzer. Thank you, Tam. Does anyone else have any other question, as silly as it could be, or as in depth as it could be, about the working groups before we continue?
Hi, just a question. Yes. Do you have to sign up to go to the working group, or just drop in?
You can just drop in at any moment. Don't worry. There are timeframes and there is an agenda. You can even add your own points of the agenda. Because it's a public document. But yeah, you can feel free to go without pressing attending or anything.
Okay,
just that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in too because it's such an important point. The TEC, like part of the TEC culture, is to be transparent and inclusive. So all of the working group calls are on our calendar. None of them are private. They're open to anyone who wants to join, and everyone is warmly welcomed to join as well. One of the things that we do is make sure that everyone has a chance to speak so that there's some space for every voice to be heard. And the working group calls are all the calls are all recorded thanks to the transparency team. So the work that Septimus and Ivy have done. And all of those recordings are available on YouTube. So you can also go and look at past meetings if that's of interest to get a feel for the different kinds of groups and the kind of subjects that we're working on.
Thank you, Tam. Does anyone else have another question regarding the working groups, calendar, or something like that? 5, 4.
I just want to praise Septi for being our scribe and for always keeping the video on point on YouTube. I just want to praise Septi for that.
That's a good point. Since you touched the point of praise, let's contextualize people about what is praise. Would you like Ham also, or Septimus, I don't know, whoever wants to explain a little bit what is praise to the rest of the new members?
Sure, I can take it. So praise is a way for us to, it's a reward system. And it's a way for us to highlight unseen work and to make sure that the invisible work that happens is seen, but also to have something more than just, a thank you to deliver. It's the way that we can reward people who are contributing to building the TEC. So praise is something that is dished. So there's a syntax and you'd use it on any of the channels, and you could praise another community member, and you would explain why you're praising that community member, what it was that he or she or they have done. And that way that these praises are then collected and quantified, and eventually will turn into TEC tokens. So it's a way to reward people who are building our community, but also to make sure unseen work is seen. There's lots of things that don't get seen, and the praise system surfaces those. And then to build this community of gratitude, to be grateful for each other, to feel when people are grateful for you. It's really a nice feeling to receive praise and to know that something that you did really helped somebody else in our community.
For example, after this call, I most likely will praise you all for attending and taking 1 hour of your time for attending this call and listen to this guy talking nonstop. So I thank you for that. And basically, the praise is a prime example of the combination of our cultural build and our technical build. As Tam mentioned, it goes into the token, but also it's part of our cultural process to consider and acknowledge everyone who we think needs to be acknowledged. So a little bit about the praise. As she mentioned, as Tam mentioned, the Discord, we have the ability to dish praise in all the Discord. So if you take a look at your screen in the Discord right now, at your left, you have the typical menus. Join here, orientation, where I welcome, or the team of the community that's working welcome most of you. And then we have other key parts of our cultural part and another part that can be useful for you. For example, we have the support, help and feedback, bug report. We have help in case, for example, you are shy, you don't want to message anyone, you just have this question about X situation, X thing that you read, just put it there. You can ask whatever you want. Someone from the team will most likely answer you within a day for sure. And then we have the feedback. So if you are playing with the dashboard, if you are playing with things, if you see something on the website or you see something buggy on the Discord, shoot it there. Also, you will receive immediately a response. Then we have the chat channels. The highlight here is the praise chat channel that Tam mentioned. If you click on the praise channel, you will see how praise gets dished in the community. We also have the general channel. And if you guys want to be on top of other Talking Engineer news, we have the Amplify channel. A lot of other communities that are partnered with us and other members of the community share a lot of the Talking Engineer news, courses, classes, gets on the Amplify channel. So I recommend you to take a look at that. Maybe there will be something that catch your attention. Then we have ideas, the coffee channel, where we share silly videos, we share trailers of things that we like, just random, non-related to Talking Engineer part. We have the community hall channel. The name expresses by itself. And then we have the community voice channels down below, which are basically the voice channels for every working group. So your meetings for the working groups will go under this label. If you see in your calendar that legal have a meeting at Friday, you will see a bunch of people in this channel on Friday at that time. The same goes for parameters and the rest of the meetings. So besides that, we have also a text channel for every working group. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about parameters, token economics, jump into the parameters text channel. There are always people talking about the help that they are looking for, or people who are seeking for proposing something, or the dashboard, or any general question goes there. So that's a little bit of how our Discord works. We have a bunch of other text channels and so on, but the ones to focus as your first week or your first taking a look around in the Discord is to see these channels. Once you have identified what catches your attention. We know that sometimes it's a little bit too much information, but we are available for you to any moment if you have a question. So don't hesitate about that. Then we use for coordination, we have SendHub. So for example, some of you guys join and want to know how to contribute, or you are confused because you don't know what kind of work gets developed. We have SendHub and all the work gets put there, but I will leave this explanation a little bit more in detail to Tam to explain about how we coordinate on SendHub.
So we use Scrum, and so we do the sprint planning, we do a retrospective, and then every week we actually do the review. And the community call is where we present the work that each working group has done. Some of the other things that we're using ZenHub for is to tag for contributors. So new people who come to our community might be able to find something that they can just pick up. That's an autonomous piece of work that they might be able to do on their own. Or to work with one of the stewards or another contributor in the TEC to do together. It's sort of it's the tool that keeps that's our coordination layer in the TEC. Those who aren't familiar with ZenHub, it's just a viewport onto GitHub. So all the data is stored in a GitHub repository, and then ZenHub creates a layer to view it from a more project management standpoint. Yeah, it's also, so it also leads into transparency too, right? Like all these things come together. It's the way that everyone in the community can see the work that's going on. So, you know, our sprint cadence is 2 weeks, a pretty normal sprint cadence. And there you could sort by the sprint If you in the little drop down, I don't know if you want to do that, but if you filter by the sprint, you could actually see all the work that's happening in the TEC at that moment. So if you are interested in something that's going on, you know which working group to reach out to or which person to reach out to see how you can help contribute. If you are interested in doing something, it's also a place where you can just go and create a new issue with your idea. There's a template, so it'll sort of guide you through the kind of information that should go into that issue. And it might be something that you see that's missing and you'd like to do. Once it's in there, it's on everyone's radar. So that means that if somebody is already doing it, they can be like, oh, this was done before, or, you know, it's the easiest way for there to be a lot of visibility over the pieces of work that are happening at a certain time.
Thank you, Tam. Sorry, Escamau, I skip you from introducing yourself. Welcome to Rotation Call. Would you like to briefly introduce yourself to the rest of us? Escamau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly or handler. Go ahead. I can see that you are unmuted, but we cannot listen to you at the moment. Maybe something with your mic. But feel free to jump at any moment once your mic is restored. All right. So this is a little bit.
Sorry. Where can we have a link? Can you drop it for us? Or where can I find it?
You mean you mean this link or the SendHub link? Sorry.
The other one that you were showing before. Yeah, that one.
So in the orientation channel, sorry, I just heard a reverb. In the orientation channel, there's a pinned message, and it has a lot of this links, including the calendar and ZenHub. I'm going to drop this in the orientation channel right now, so you have easy access to it. But in general, I would recommend that anyone who wants to see the sort of like, here's 5 things you could read today, use that pinned message for today.
Let's come out. Can you try now? Okay, no problem. Let me know via DM message if you need any further assistance. So that's a little bit of how we sort of work the meetings. And as I mentioned, we also have, by the way, we also have a Git Book, which is our kind of source of truth. It's very handful. You have a lot of information in the Git Book, a lot of information about our processes. It's mostly where all these links are coming from. So you can learn a lot of about our cultural layers, our tools, and how the fund allocation layers, the orientation, roles, all this stuff are on the Git Book. That is also in the links that I think Tam shared. So that's a little bit of how we work. Now we will open the session for the last 15 minutes to open to questions of any kind that you may want to have about, in general sense, the TEC. But I will, before we pass to that, I would like to know, for example, you were talking about a project, a graphic model you were trying to do, Satchel. If you'd like to share with the rest of us a little bit about that project or that graphic that you were explaining before. If you are there, Satchel.
Yeah, hold on, let me get my microphone. Yeah, so I'm planning on presenting. I did a model which shows the tokenomics. It's sort of a complicated project on Helium, but I basically use a stock flow model, and it just shows it by incentive and goals. So it's a graph that I'd like to maybe set up time and just get people on here, and I can walk through it with someone on Helium. So Helium uses a burn and mint equilibrium model, and I think it's one of the most interesting ones out there. One of the challenges I've seen with a lot of tokens is, they want to incentivize them with the tokens, but where do the tokens get value? and they do a super great job. And so I've been trying to, but it's a little bit complicated, even just talking out loud. So I built out this graph model. I'm planning on doing some presentations. I'm going to do one with, I think someone just reached out for another community that he's in. And so I just wanted to kind of figure out maybe how to like set up a call here, and I'll just do the presentation within this group. So I don't know how you recommend doing that.
Yes, you're more than welcome. Usually we have different ways to present stuff and present projects. We can have a further discussion via DMs if you like, or you can share publicly the detail of your project on the params, or in general. You can drop the link there and request for public feedback also. It depends a little bit of what you want to talk about, and so we can target specifically, provide feedback for that if it's required.
Yeah, I think since I'm not trying to take this all the way to completion, trying to get early feedback on the MVP, it's pretty complicated as is. I think the model I want to do is just present it, show it, and then have people kind of like say, well, how about this part, or how about this part? And then make it like a presentation interactive. I found out that's going to be fastest. And then once I'm done, I'm probably going to then write it up and then promote it on Twitter and so forth. Here's an example of how I did a tokenomics model and so forth. But I think I'm MVP, so there's a ton of stuff in it already, but I'm like, I got to start like sharing it and getting good feedback.
I might also have another recommendation, which is in order to sort of garner how much interest there is, and then to sort of plan something around that via the interested parties, I would either write up a description, sort of like exactly what you said, but sort of the idea, like, would anybody be interested in helping in this? And either drop it in the general channel or in the forum, and sort of see, we could figure out how to, how to find a place for that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll probably just do that, and then I think I'll probably just pick a time. Say, hey, I'm going to come in here, sign up, and either do it in the Discord. I probably just do it in the Discord, or like an external webinar software. But the Discord seems to work pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we can keep in touch, so we can help with that.
Sounds good.
And thank you. And then Cross, you didn't have time to introduce you. Would you like to introduce yourself and just explain briefly how do you get here? If you're talking Cross, or if I'm mispronouncing your handle, let me know, because we cannot hear you. Otherwise, we can keep going. So does anyone else here have a token economics project, or a project that you think would like to share, or something you would like to require feedback on, or any general question that you may have before we continue with the call? You can unmute yourself and jump in to action in a moment. Can count to 5, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so my connection here is not very well, is not very good. So I have one quick question: that all our tasks and work are being coordinated on this TEC workspace coordination and this TEC Git Book. Am I correct? Okay. Thanks.
Yes, and if you need further assistance, like trying to understand sometimes the lingo or some words or some concepts or any issues that you see on the Git Book or on the Send Hub, in the coordination space, you can reach out to Tam or to me, and we will provide assistance to you if that comes to the case.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. You're welcome. So that's a little bit about the TEC. I'm pretty sure there are so many other stuff to figure out here on our server. We are a very quite active community, and we look forward to Advanced Token Engineer, and we are going to do that with the help of everyone here on this call, if it is possible. So we are a collaborative economy. We are a collaborative space and community also. because at the end of the day, it is token economics, and it's a very technical science, but also economy, it's a social science. So we encourage everyone here to participate, join, and be part of also of our social layer in order to be able to also learn about our technical layer, which is the token economic part. I want to thank everyone for joining this call, and we have 7 minutes left for this call. I don't know if anyone else wants to ask or comment on something before we end. If not, I will pass it on to the stewards for saying anything to say goodbye to everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I had a question. Is there any limit on how many working groups you can contribute in, or can you contribute in only just one or two of those?
I'll jump in again. No, there's no limits. There's no restrictions. There's the hope that you'll follow whatever excites your spirit, and anything that works for your time and your lifestyle and your interest is the right place for you to be. So there's no, we encourage everyone to sort of explore and to see what feels best for them.
That's great. Thanks.
Thank you, Arvind, for your question, and thank you, Tam, for answering it. So yeah, if no one else have any other questions, I would like to thank everyone for coming today. And I look forward to see you all in either the parents' parties or either in the working group or either on any of the other calls. We have community call. It seems confusing this call, you were not very sure what every working group does, you can come to community call. It's on Thursdays, 8 p.m. CET. Every working group have a few minutes to describe what they have accomplished, what they have done that week, so you can get informed and have a more personal idea of what every working group and what every working group does. And we also have TEC Lounge, which is Fridays, 5 p.m. You're more than welcome to also join and just hang out and meet other members of the community. I see that you also cross on mute. Would you like to?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I've been following your projects for a while, but I've been too busy for me to make any contribution on your Telegram page. So I want to know, what are the prerequisites for joining your working group?
There are no prerequisites to join a working group. Some working groups have a higher kind of entry point of knowledge, probably, but just by listening and participating, engaging, probably you will get there. So the idea is that, as Tam mentioned, working groups are inclusive. We are a inclusive community. So you're more than welcome to join to 1, 2, 3 working groups as much as you enjoy or like or catch your interest.
Okay.
And be ready to learn, because that's a little bit of what will happen once you enter a working group. It's learning experience.
Okay, that is fine then. Probably I will join 2 or 3.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. So thank you everyone for joining this call, and I look forward to see you all. Have a lovely Wednesday.